Hi, lovelies. Happy Wednesday. So, this will be a Wednesday wisdom video where I shuffle some cards, I look at the transit, and I pretty much give you all a collective reading of what's going on, like the type of energy that's in the air and how it may be impacting you, and how spirit would like me as a vessel to convey suggestive tips and approaches that you can take to continue navigating said energy and said situations that come up in the card. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure you comment below and let me know if these messages resonate. If you would like me to keep doing videos such as this, you can also suggest content ideas that's within the realm of the topics today. And once again, I always appreciate your support. So I did start shuffling before I got on camera. And one message that stood out was surrender. I feel like collectively, a lot of you are taking an outdated approach to putting into perspective something that you may be going through that's bringing you a lot of mental duress. I see and feel lethargy, lack of sleep, and with the Five of Swords here, and with the swords dealing with our thoughts and our ideas and our perspectives and how we process things, and five dealing with transition, transformation, and change, this is asking that you allow yourself to shift and change how you are approaching certain ideas. And for some of you, something that may be creating an air of apprehensiveness when it comes to getting away from certain environments that encourage you to continue to show up in the way that you are, or approach this specific situation that I'm talking about for some of you in the way that you do. It's coming from a place of you being a little afraid of what others may think if they begin to observe that you are receptive to not only changing but actually integrating that change, and then seeing the ways in which it may improve the quality of your life. A lot of y'all have a wound when it comes to being seen, when it comes to being platformed, when it comes to being praised. But with the Nine of Cups here, that speaks to a sense of fulfillment that you also crave. You crave to have a sense of fulfillment within yourself, to where it's like, not only do I see my light, and not only does my light sustain me, but it radiates so bright that it also helps to encourage others to find their light and sustain themselves. Remember, the relationship and how we interact with ourselves, that plays a huge part, whether we are conscious or intentional or not, and how we interact with others, how people interact with the experience that we share with them. you know um Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, has been transiting the north node, which is a collective energy that we've all been under, and it will be coming to an end in a matter of months before we switch over to Pisces. And a lot of people are starting to crave community again in a less shameful way. I observe energetically and intuitively, and I'm sure a lot of you will be able to relate, that there has just been this air of people intentionally being performative about their needs and wants when it comes to needing support and wanting support and needing and wanting community, and to be in company with people that align with their true heart posture and interest. Um, and that could send out signals to the universe, to where I say it all the time, and I think I mentioned this when I did my Genie Mind and Jeezy commentary. You can say out your mouth all day that you want high vibrational experiences with people that are intentional about striving towards a high vibrational frequency. But if subconsciously there's some deceptiveness, there's some intentional avoidantness, to where you're purposely not addressing something, within yourself because you are not ready to do that work, you will continue to get the same results. And there may even be times where there is an illusion, because that's what deceptivity does, right? Where there is an illusion that you're making strides, but it'll be short lived. And then you'll wonder why you're always moving on to the next thing. This is why in these cards, Spirit is saying you need to surrender the ways of the 3D. You need to surrender the ways of the 3D that have been embedded in your psyche. A lot of you are craving to be more one with something that is higher than who you are on this physical realm, but you're too attached to what has been programmed and conditioned within you when it comes to the quote unquote way that you're supposed to live your life. I'm pulling more cards from the back of the deck. 6 of Cups, Queen of Coins, 8 of Swords. This 6 of Cups shows a man walking forward, and he's looking back at another man that seems to be himself, a previous version of himself that is just sitting there and looking in a cup with the sun shining behind him. You're so fixated on doing something in one specific way, receiving something in one specific way, experiencing something in one specific way, you're missing it all around you. Spirit wants you to be receptive to the idea of having simplicity be a priority for you, just as much as superficiality, just as much as materialism, just as much as what's to be gained on this earthly realm. Spirit is suggesting that if you learn how to prioritize the things that you are actively taking for granted, because there's no glamour, there's no dopamine hit to be gained from whatever that is. Spirit is asking that you be receptive to prioritizing that. Romanticize the fact that you woke up this morning and you could get up without a second thought and walk to your bathroom, pee, wash your hands, brush your teeth, gargle, wash your face, walk to your kitchen, open your fridge, there's food, your necessities, your wants, you have your motor skills, go to the mailbox. If you have kids, your kids woke up, you're able to take them to school without no ease, they doing well in school. These are things that we take for granted. It's part of the human experience. More and more each day, there's distractions. There's a lot of distractions, and it's very hard in the midst of so much chaos when you already feel like you're drowning to come up for air and thank God that you can still come up for air, even though you're struggling to just get a There's beauty, though, in being able to view the glass as half full as opposed to half empty. There's beauty in knowing for a fact, you may not know the timeline, that, okay, it's raining, but I know the rain has to stop one day. Okay, it's cloudy, there's an overcast, but I know there's going to be another sunny day with blue skies. Okay, the sun comes up for a little bit, but then it goes down, for a lot of it. Okay, well, I know there'll be a day where it's the opposite. You have to hold on to that. Sometimes that's all you have. And what you do to sustain that, count your blessings. You may not have the 1,000,000 or 100,000 or 500,000 followers on whatever social media site you desire to have. You may not have the position at your job that you deserve, feel entitled to, and desire to have. You may not be driving the car that a lot of people within your network and friend circle is able to afford. You may not be able to take those trips as of yet. Wear certain things. Be in certain spaces as of yet. But you know what you can do at any given moment, no matter what you determine your worth to be, which is more than likely heavily influenced by society's own definition. You can always start the process of learning how to see your worth no matter what is going on in the external and no matter who is perceiving you in the external. Your spirit is always perfect. Your spirit is always in perfect shape. It's our perception of our physical self that afflicts the spirit, or shall I say creates the illusion for those that understand where I'm coming from, that our spirit is being afflicted when it's really just all in our mind and how we're choosing to put things into perspective. Not to say when it comes to tragedy, grief, abuse, any experience where negativity is, triggered within you, and then it creates other experiences outside of you where negativity just seems to be all around you and consuming you. You are always entitled to your experience and how you show up in it. Where a lot of us get stuck is how we put it into perspective and then how we continue to move forward if we really are. Because you have a lot of people sitting in their 20s still talking about something that happened 10 years ago. You have a lot of people sitting in their 30s still talking about something that happened 20 years ago. You have a lot of people sitting in their 40s still talking about something that happened 30 years ago. And talking is a short way of me saying that trauma is doing the walking and talking for you. Can't hold down a job. Oh, every job that you go to, it's just always the coworkers. It's never you. It's always a fucked up environment and a messy environment. Even if it's not you, why do you keep allowing yourself to have that experience? There's something that you're doing the same that God is trying to prompt you to do different so you could get different. Your personal relationships are a mess. Platonic, romantic, business. Your relationships with your kids, with certain family members that just want to be there for you, or you are supposed to be there for them, is a mess. Perspective and surrenderance. That is the message of today. Spirit wants you to surrender that grip that you have on whatever situation I'm speaking about today for whoever I'm talking to, and be receptive to allowing this shift in perspective to take place. There comes a point in life, and it's usually a crossroads for a lot of us, where you are given an opportunity to keep doing things the same exact way that you've been doing them up until that very moment at that crossroad, or challenge yourself to respond different, to pick different, and or to do different. And you have people that will, and because it doesn't give an immediate response that they perceive to be positive, they go back to doing what they know, but there's no growth there. You have people that never take the opportunity. They are so stuck in the comfortability of being uncomfortable, they can't even fathom the process of learning and unlearning and then reintegration. And then you have the brave souls like all of you out there listening, whether you believe it or not, that do it. They say, you know what? Yeah, I am going to respond different. I am going to do different. And I have faith that different will materialize in my life. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't even know the point yet. But I have faith because everything I've been doing up until now, it worked until it didn't. And now I'm ready to try something new. That's life, ladies and gentlemen. That's life. Have a good day. If you would like to book a session with me, my email is pinned in the comments along with my booking site, and it's in my description box. I wish you all well.